suits to sweatshirts. Now, many of you guys have been just like me. We're all taught the same thing. Go to school, get good grades, go get a great job, everything be happily ever after, get the big house, picket fence, 2.5 kids and a dog. Okay, now, real story, often that doesn't work anymore for a lot of people. In school, we were always taught you got to get the best grades possible. We were always told, work on your weaknesses. Here's the deal. This is what I learned. Work on your strengths. I don't waste time working on weaknesses because at best you will be a mediocre, moderate, weak person. There's only certain levels that you can improve a skill set. John Maxwell talks about a leadership table. He talks about different levels of leadership. So you have your 10s, your 9s, your 8s, your 3s, your 2s, whatever. So typically a person can only elevate 2 levels at maximum. So the best of 4 could ever be on a leadership scale is a 6. As an 8, you can become a 10, but you can't go from a leadership level of 3 up to a 10. He has plenty of books where he talks about that. But here's why I want to talk about suits to sweatshirts. In school, the smart kids always felt that they were elitists and that everyone else wouldn't make it. Even parents would tend to make you think that if you didn't have a certain GPA, you were doomed and destined for failure. But Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, I'm going to paraphrase, but he said something along the lines of good grades does not automatically ensure success, just the same as bad grades does not equal failure. And I think he's proven that because he has one of the biggest companies that ever existed on the planet. So what I look at now today, a lot of those smart people that were stereotyped as smart in school now learn from me today. You guys see my brand, C Student CEO. C Student just wanted to see my way out. One of my great mentors, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, he told me one time, sitting in his office at Clark Atlanta University, we were sitting and he just looked out the window and he said, Sean, you know, many times A students teach B students who often work for C students. And then he looked out the window, looked down at the promenade. He said, Sean, a lot of those students down there, they're D students. And these buildings around us, they name buildings after D students. So that really validated and gave me confirmation that I was tracking right, that being a C student wasn't a detriment to my success. So again, I look now, I coach and counsel people consistently. And in the coaching session I had just a couple of days ago, this person told me they were 57 years old and still have student loan debt. Think about that. You have to pay enormous amounts of income to be formally trained in memorization. Because think about it, that's a lot of what school is. How many of you can tell me what happened in 1812? Supposedly there was a war, but the War of 1812 didn't happen in 1812. It really started in 1811. And again, this is information that has nothing to do with your success potential in life. So we have to start changing our paradigm. We have to have a paradigm shift in the way we think, because many times when we go to school, we're conditioned just to learn certain things, certain elements that's not going to amount to anything. I have not used anything on the chemistry table in the last 30-something plus years. I haven't used algebra since I was in the 9th grade. I haven't used anything in biology since the 8th grade. Now, is formal training vital? Absolutely, it is. But you have to also look at what type of education you have. We have what's called an academic education or scholastic education. That's where we learn how to read, write, arithmetics. Then we have what's called a professional education. A professional education now hones in on our skill sets. But then we have one type of education that just simply isn't taught in the school system. And that type of education is what's called a financial education. This is where we start learning the true mechanics and ins and outs of finances and economics. These are the things that's super, super, super important. So, you know, in the beginning, when I started my speaking career, I was in suit and ties. This afforded me credibility. people started listening. Hey, this is a C student, but this guy's wearing a suit and tie. He's speaking about finances and economic business development, creating generational wealth. So once that platform grew and I had a large audience, then I shifted back to what was comfortable for me, which is sweatshirts, t-shirts, and ball caps. I'm an everyday t-shirt, jeans kind of guy and wear tennis shoes. But because of the credibility was now validated back when I was wearing shirt and ties, now when I wear sweatsuits in my leisure and people can identify my lifestyle, the time and money freedoms that I have, now it's like a shift in the thinking. It's like, wow, maybe I should have done something a little different. Maybe I should have different views or mindsets about finances, about education, what type of education I need, what type of education I should encourage my children to get. See, you got to realize, let's talk about golf for 1 second. As a golfer, an average golfer, they aim for the green. When they're putting or driving, they drive towards the green, just an open green area. That's what they're targeting in. But the professional golfer, he's focused in on the flag. And so many times people, when we're just in traditional education, we just only think of just hitting to the green. Automatic success is going to be out there. But when you're laser focused, you focus on the red flag. That's the way I built my business. I focused on what the end result that I wanted, which was time and money freedom. I wanted happiness. I wanted to be able to have a complete family unit. I wanted to be successful in every area of my life. And that's why I've always targeted the red flag instead of just the green. So I guess the point I really want to bring home is we have to have a shift in the way we think, in the results that we want. Because if we keep doing what we've been doing, we're going to get the same results. If we use the same techniques that our predecessors used, we're going to get those same results. But if you want moving forward thinking, ideologies and thought processes, you have to do something different. So guys, that's the message I just wanted to give this morning, is to be able to have time and money freedom. You got to do something different. Because if we've been doing a career for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years and it's not working, we got to change. Otherwise, we're going to continue subscribing to the 40-40-40 plan, which is working 40 hours a week for 40 years, retiring on less than 40% of what we probably already had problems and difficulty living on in the first place. All right, guys, I'm Dr. Sean J. Harris. Make impact and make money.